gameplay analysis of a new game that we have available here, which is going to be another lower league level game. It is... I can actually change my hotkeys, that's very nice. Well, it's Silver League, and we're going to have a look into that. First things first, we're going to look at the draft of both teams. Left team, blue side, has Diablo, Sonya, Malfurion, Illidan, and Tracer. That looks very promising. They have a good solo laner. They have an okay healer. I think with Tracer, it would have been better to have a little bit more burst, as well as for Illidan as well. They have 3 melees, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to do anything in team fights to enable Tracer, I think, but overall looks very solid. Not too bad, not too shabby at all. Red side has Valla, ETC, Rhaegar, Katie, and Varian. And I think they have a much easier to execute draft, so we're going to see how things are going. Talent-wise, nothing too crazy on the first talent tier. This is where Malfurion already struggles. Okay. Okay, let's go back for 1 second and look how Malfurion got into this position. Whoa. Okay, so basically he's trying to save his teammates and then just gets caught out. Not too much that you can do here as him. This is very good what Tracer is doing, chasing the KT who doesn't have any mobility. So that's really good. And very typical start to a Hero League game. Everybody clams up in the middle and gets some XP here. That being said, Illidan was smart, took out the top wave, so therefore his team got a little bit of XP there, and therefore even though they lost a team member, they got pretty much even XP. He should be able to get out of here, no problem. Okay, so nobody is bottom, which is an issue for the red team, and then also Diablo is bottom, who shouldn't be bottom. So on the blue team, you have 2 excellent solo laners, at least for wave clear purposes, is Sonya and Illidan. So one of them should be bottom, and one of them should be top. So Illidan being top is fine. That being said, they have 2 people here from the red team, so it's going to be difficult for Illidan to hold this. Red team apparently is still unsure what to do. They're just looking at things. KT already had to go back, that's fine. He's very mana hungry in the first couple of moments in the game. 4-man rotation to the top, I think that's pretty good. Missed the Tracer Bomb, but that's totally fine to be expected. Let's go back 20 seconds. So, red team is not really doing anything here, and then blue team clears the wave. Another wave is coming in, but they decide, hey, our Illidan can't do anything up here, so we're gonna gank them. It's a little hard rotation, 4 people. Nice by the Illidan. He basically baited the ETC in by being out of position, and then easy kill with 4 people. A little hard commit because now nobody is soaking mid, and only 1 person is here in the bottom, so he's going to be under pressure from Valla and Rhaegar. Good reaction by the Varian. Took the Tracer Bomb, not too much of an issue, and he just clears the wave. I think that's fine. So far, just a couple of good kills. Pretty strong play by the blue team in the rotation, but if you contest or commit with 4 people, you also definitely have to kill somebody because you're losing XP out in other lanes. This is good. She moved away from the gank because the 2 towers would have shot at her soon, and then she would have taken probably like half health damage. So overall, this is actually very good what both the teams are doing. They have somebody in each lane. Everybody gets soak. And the blue team is doing a little bit of better job of rotating. They are moving together, trying to get kills here and there. This is very excellent by the Tracer, even though it gets a little bit dangerous and scary for her. But as soon as she has a bomb, she's looking for a kill, and that's very, very good. If you have joy in playing Tracer, if you like to play Tracer, that's something that you should definitely learn. Once you have a bomb, you should always look for an easy target to fight. Good job by the Rhaegar to not face check this. I think they wanted to do it, but then they, you know, learned better or knew better, and then didn't get stunned by the Sonya. Very well done. ETC is a little aggressive here. but they're fine. Now everybody is in the middle, so everybody is losing also XP mid and bottom and top, and nobody is anywhere close to level 7. So that's something that they shouldn't be doing. So either you contest the shrine and go for it with all 5, or you split up and take the camp. Sorry, not the camps, the XP. I'm set at camps because of one reason. Nobody has taken camps yet, and both teams have actually pretty okay heroes to take camps. So the blue team could have gotten a couple of camps with Illidan already. They definitely should have gotten the Shaman camp before the temple spawn. With Sonya and Illidan, there's no reason for you to not take this. The good timing for Infernal Shrines is to take the Shaman camp, especially if the shrines are mid or bottom, to take it before the shrine spawn. Because then they push top, and the enemy team has to either clear them, or they will lose probably the wall and even the fort if it is a very long fight around the temples, or the shrines, sorry. What they're doing here, the fight in the middle for nothing, it's totally not worth it. Let's have a look at talents real quick. So Tracer, level 1 Tracer rounds is totally fine. The health pack, I kind of see it, because the Malf is not a very good burst healer. So I think it's okay, but it's probably one of the least picked talents if you have a healer in Hero League. I think it doesn't give you that much value. Diablo is fine, Sonya is fine, Malfurion I think is also the best what you can get. Well, I actually am mistaken. So Vengeful Root is something that people take a lot, but it has a very high win rate on hot slugs, which I think is deceiving because it doesn't really give you anything except a little tree. So the longer roots are probably stronger in Hero League, but it has a higher win rate, so maybe I'm talking out of my ass. And then obviously here Convection, let's have a look. 7 stacks, it's okay, but you have to play so safe at the beginning of the game that it's oftentimes not worth it to take it. That being said, they have 3 melees that always want to go in, and Malfurion also has to be kind of close to hit his Moonfires, so I think it's probably the best situation to take Convection. But it's still risky because they have also great engage into you. Valla, another Valla with auto attack build. Again, 3 melees, maybe it's worth it. I'm not a big fan, but you know, that's how it is. Good engage, but Valla gets pretty cool combo off here. Lots of melee attacks, unfortunately pays for her aggressiveness because she just drops too low and is too weak at the beginning of the game. Okay, both teams go in. This is the 3rd Tracer Bomb, I think, and she missed it again and used it actually on a minion, so that's kind of bad. But still, again, she uses it whenever she has it ready. So whenever she has a bomb, she tries to find a target and kill it. Good use of the healing totem here. That's now an issue that they have on the red side. Kael'thas is not very great at clearing these without any mana. So the red team should now have already moved away. The blue team has reinforced with all 5, and most of them have been coming from the base because they either died or were just tapping. So on the red team, you have like one person very low. The Varian has protected, but that's fine. But overall, the red team was missing their tank, so they should have gone probably around this area into the bush instead of staying on the shrine. And then again, without Valla and without a W build, they don't have great wave clear. So for them, it's probably easier to just poke in with the Kael'thas. But he has very little mana, and he's gonna probably lose his stacks here. Yeah. So this is one of the issues with Convection. You will oftentimes be in situations where you don't want to be in. You can always say you can play safe, but realistically, these situations are oftentimes not avoidable. Okay, let's see if we play this correctly. What you want to do with the Punisher once you've gotten it, you want to push with it, but not with 5 people in the early game. If you have a Sylvanas, there's a discussion that you can do it, but generally speaking, the XP that you will lose from the other 2 lanes is not worth it to be 5-man pushing, even if you get a fort, realistically. On the defending side, ETC should be moving behind his wall somewhere here, and use a spell so that the Punisher gets vision of him and jumps over the fort. This has become less powerful since the second tower has gone away, but it's still good to pull it over so that both the towers and the fort shoot at the Punisher. This way at the moment, only the towers shoot at the Punisher, and they even have to kill the minion wave first. So what Vala did was very, very stupid. Let's go back 10 seconds. So they get it, it's fine. Also very risky positioning, I just saw that. Like the Vala probably would have been dead if the blue team had taken more care here. So what happens is that, let's have a look if we can actually show this. So the blue team vision is what we have here right now. And we're going to go forward. So Vala now gives vision to everybody on the blue team, which includes the Punisher. So the Punisher, the only target that the Punisher sees is Vala. So he jumps on her. The ETC also makes a mistake by going into the enemy team after the Punisher just jumped on his Vala. Maybe it's actually okay because she can run away from the Punisher now while everybody else is stunned. Yeah. The vault is okay. The tapping is actually very important. She did very good there. Because otherwise she would have probably maybe even died. If he gets like 2 or 3 more punches off. 1, 2. Okay, he cools down. Well, we said it. The ETC went in for no reason. So the Vala, if you use or multi-shot here, you are the person in vision. So ETC tries to get vision as well. But what he should have done is basically use face melt close to the wall. It also pushes people back from here, and then lets the Punisher jump. If you're quick enough with your reflexes, you can also queue away. Moving into here is the stupidest thing that you can do, because you can see what happens to them. They actually get rooted from the Punisher's roots. So this allows the enemy to follow up with the stun, great overpowering the roots, and then he's just dead. And that's just because he queued into the enemy for no reason. There was no follow-up possible from his damage dealers in Varian and Vala. This is another issue that you should never do on this map. You should never just go melee when the Punisher is hitting the towers as a squishy. Because he's going to jump you and stun you. And again, if the blue team was a little bit better, like if the Diablo walks here instead of down here, he can stun Kelthos again, throw him over, and maybe get a root off from the ice. Reaction from the red team is okay. They bring as many people down as they can, for the simple reason that if the enemy team is pushing with 5 people, you need to be a little bit careful that they don't push into your keep wall. That was an okay stun. Varian got it. And then great follow-up here. Let's have another look. So, the Punisher's gonna jump again. Varian does the right thing to go a little bit more in front. Like this. So he gets stunned. These guys are pretty lucky here, because honestly, they could have easily getting stunned by the Punisher as well. But only the Varian gets hit. So now we have to look. The fort is dying here, so what the blue team should be doing is just run away. If there's no reason, like for the Illidan engage, there's no reason for that. The Punisher's gonna die. There are 5 people here. Well, he probably saw 4, and none of them is like dangerously low. So now the blue team should run away, and Malfurion wanted to save Illidan because he's getting damage. So he's trying to root and heal, and now he's in a completely horrible position. And this is one of the things that happens a lot in Hero League, and I think this happens a lot in lower leagues as well, or especially in lower leagues. You can see that people try to save each other, and that leads to a death chain. So if we go back one more time, the situation, let's speed it up a little bit. So here's a jump. Here's Illidan going in. So Illidan thinks he can do something here, but he also knows he's pretty safe because he has an escape. That being said, now Malfurion thinks he can save Illidan. Malfurion dies. Diablo thinks he can save Malfurion. Now he gets low. And he dies. This is also very bad. The Sonya then again tries to save or do something to prevent ETC and everybody to kill him. and uses the Q to go in. That's very, very dangerous. One positive thing on the blue team is that Tracer, she died earlier, but she made the best of it and actually went XP soaking, which, as you can see on the XP, helped a lot. Not only did they get a fort, obviously, but also with the tower from the Tracer and a couple of minions here, they're now nearly 1.5 levels up. The first time that we're seeing a camp, one thing that I see on the Valla, she just stays still, or stands still, and just shoots on the minion. What you should be doing, even against minions, is stutter stepping as much as possible. With the movement, while stutter stepping and clearing the camp, it makes it easier for you to react to something that is happening, for example, in an invade. If you just stand still, you have to move your mouse somewhere else to start the movement process. If you're stutter stepping, you already are in movement, you already try to move your mouse somewhere else, and you will be much more easily be able to click to a different position. Another skirmish here, really bad for the blue team. And then what's even worse is that their Diablo is doing the camp. So he's the character that should never be doing the camp on this team. First of all, he does have like super bad wave clear. Second thing, he will lose a lot of life. And third, he will be missed by his team because they don't have a front line. And then on their team, they have like Sonya and Illidan, both of them are great camp heroes, so they should be doing camps all the time. This is good, the Malfurion, even if he doesn't have great wave clear, he stays in the middle and gets the XP. Illidan is now helping, that's fine. But nobody is soaking top XP. They got the camp also, and now they're not doing anything with it. Which is one of the things that you definitely have to learn in Hero League. If you take the camp, the only time that it's okay to leave it alone is if there's objective spawning. So as I said, like this temple is spawning now, so it's a little unfortunate because the way up here is pretty close. The only worst temple would be this, or only worst shrine would be this. But with this camp now doing nothing because nobody's protecting it, Varian has a very easy time to just clear it. So generally speaking, you should always take a camp and push with it, or... Okay, we have to look at this. Or you take a camp before an objective spawns. So if the altar, if the shrine it activates and this is pushing, that's okay. You can leave it alone, because the reason you want this pushing during the shrine phase is that the enemy team has to react. Either they send somebody to clear this, or they fight and lose buildings. But this doesn't do anything. You just used it and then nothing happens with it. So that's a bad decision making. So ETC is dead, probably. Holy moly. Okay, let's go back. Let's have a quick look at the blue team's heroics. Apocalypse is up, Leap is up, Tranquility is up, Hunt is up, and Tracer has a bomb. The enemy team is not 10, and there's an objective spawning somewhere around a minute, I guess. They caught ETC here, which he shouldn't. There's no way that he gets away with 5 people around him. So now Illidan uses the Hunt. We also use a Tracer Bomb. We missed the stun because of the face melt. We also use Roots. We use Leap. And suddenly my heroic advantage is gone. I don't have Leap anymore. I don't have Hunt anymore. I just use my Tracer Bomb. So if the blue team is unlucky, the red team will actually catch up on level 10 for the shrine fight and have the heroics ready, while the blue team just used like 3 heroics for 1 kill. And that's never worth it. Never. Like if ETC got away, he got away. Like if you use all of your heroics just before an objective, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. So this is also one awkward thing. Arsenal is pretty good with the multi-shot build. We saw it yesterday on my YouTube video as well, that you can go for the vault on level 7 for Valla to do more auto-attack damage. But I think Arsenal is actually pretty okay on this map because you need wave clear for the shrines. So it's a little awkward to see this because it's an auto-attack build and then it goes into multi-shot. But I think it's fine here. Okay, let's see if we see anything funny here. Nope, actually pretty okay. So we have Rain of Vengeance, we have Ancestral Healing, that's both really good. We have Phoenix, which is the correct heroic, don't take Pyroblast. By the way, the KT is completely out of position. And Twin Blades is, I think, really good against what they have. Tracer really suffers against auto attacks. Illidan has evasion, yeah, sure, but once that's over, he really doesn't like when you attack him very rapidly. And then Sonya and Diablo both are very tanky, so Colossus Smash could have been a good alternative. Very amazing engaged by the Diablo. Let's see what happens in this game, in this fight. A little late on the Ancestral. ETC has stage dive. So now what would be helping is Hunt and Leap. Like, these guys are all super clumped up, so having these two heroics here would actually be pretty cool. Good job. Tracer Bomb hits nothing. Okay. Okay. Tranquility is also pretty late, but blue team wins. Let's look at this fight one more time. Vala's already dead. Let's go back a little bit further. Oh, she's already there. Holy moly, that was a very long fight. There you go. Okay, so KT's out of position. You shouldn't be standing here. You can actually see Sonya, I think. Yeah, so he sees Sonya here, and he also sees Illidan. Two heroes that are really dangerous for him. He decides to actually make a step forward, use his stun as a panic, and then he uses his Q. That's really, really bad. Like, he should have just ran. Like, there's no reason for you to stay here. So, ETC is not here yet, but he has stage dive now. So he should be probably stage diving very soon. Diablo with a good combo. You use Apocalypse first, then you charge your target with Q, and then you use that target with your E to have a great initiation on it. So you basically press R, then Q, then E, and you have one target that's definitely stunned. Perfect. Diablo's pretty tanky, so they can't really do anything here. And now the fight just basically goes in favor of the blue team by the simple situation that they are 4 versus 5, and now they're also up. Basically 5 versus 3, or more 2, because Vala just came back. This is also good. They're pushing, getting a little bit of advantage here on the wall. That being said, it probably would have been better if they actually went to mid and got the shrine, or also the take of the wall out here. Okay, let's see if the red team can get back. Okay, so your team has just used all of its heroics. Ancestral is out, Phoenix is out, and we probably only have one Rain of Vengeance. Maybe we have both of them again. What ETC does here is pretty bad. He just jumps in. Well, let's see. Would be a huge kill here. Nope. Okay. Leap out. Unlucky. So the red team... Okay. Okay, so this is very very bad overall. KT is gonna lose his stack again. Okay, let's have a quick look again at the whole thing. So the red team is winning the team fight. They brought 2 heroes very, very low. They have another hero that they bring low here. So I guess the ETC engagement was still okay. Obviously the blue team also used a lot of the heroics before, so this way they basically lost a lot of advantage and can't really contest this, I guess. So they dies of the bomb, which is fine. So now let's have a look. We have 3 up here. Vala is chasing the Malfurion, who's super low, so she gets greedy and wants to chase back in. Tracer just tapped and sees pretty much everybody following up her team here. So she's smart. She's going to move up here to the Kael'thas. So that's going to be her job. So what Val does is just very bad. She not only chases into a vision where into a bush where she doesn't have vision, but she also used her only escape to get an alt attack off the Malfurion. She kills him, awesome, and she even gets heroic out of it, but she just dies. On the other side, her whole team followed her to save her, which again is really, really bad. Unfortunately for them, they will lose their Kael'thas, who only had 1 stack, so it's not really bad, but he's gonna die. There you go. So now we have 2 down for each side. For the red team, it's a little bit worse because they don't have a healer. For the blue team, it's a little bit worse. They don't have the healer. The red team, unfortunately, doesn't have mana on their healer, so they're not in a great position. Varian with Twin Blades actually is okay. The Rhaegar is leaving, so they don't have tap. They don't have any mana, so I think it's okay to leave. The issue though is that their team only needs like 5 more skulls. So I guess, or I want to say the best way to handle the situation would have been to stay and help get the last 5 skulls, because I see now that they might not get these. Epoch is used. Varian is panicking. He's just running around instead of just focusing on the skulls. 1 more. Okay, so this was super close. Obviously the blue team came back in full force now. If Rhaegar stays and just takes one of the little defenders, I think that's much better than just teleporting back. But of course they need a mana, so the teleport back is for sure not bad. What the blue team does here now is also really bad. You should always try to run away and hide behind your wall, because if you stay in front of it, they just get all stunned. There you go. And if there was a little bit more follow-up, if they were a little closer, if there's a Kael'thas who can like get a full Q stack off here, that's horrible. Okay, red team is a little scared now because they're down the talent. That's fine. They don't get a lot of value out of the Punisher. The good thing in these situations is what you always should tell yourself is that you got the map objective. The enemy team didn't get it, so they couldn't snowball it further. Horrible idea. Like, you should never do this. You just saw all 5 of them clear the Punisher. There's no way in hell that even if you get 5 stacks off of this, that you will benefit from it. This is really bad. Like, if they just see him walking in or something like that, he's dead. Illidan has Hunt up, like, he just dies. Okay, good by the red team. They take the camp, and now they also try to contest bottom. I think the Rhaegar has the right idea here. He pings back the Vala, but she really wants to get her stacks. She also is pretty far away from her finishing the quest, still needs 27 stacks. And she sees an easy target, but he remembers, hey, they have an Illidan with Hunt that can come in here whenever he wants to. Bang. Leap, there's roots, great ancestral healing. The cleanse was a little unnecessary, but there's nothing the Rhaegar can do in this situation. So this, like with 11 minutes into the game, your fort is down and you have Illidan that has Hunt. You should always think, like, if you're not good at remembering times for heroics, like how long heroics are on cooldown, you should always think that cooldown is ready. And then you can't just engage into Sonya because you don't have anything to run away to. Like, there's nothing that you can do to save yourself. Varian is a little bit more safe because he is protected, but this is still very, very risky. Yeah, I would think he would die here now as well. Yep. Okay. Another camp that will not do anything. With these Khazra camps, it's a little bit different than with the Shaman camp. First of all, they respawn quicker, I think. And then, second of all, they do range attacks, so it's easier for them to stay out of enemy minion range. So they push a little bit more if they're left alone. But you also normally want to do something with them. You just don't want to leave them alone and have them do nothing. Because they just got clear, they didn't get a lot of value. Again, there's a hunt. Yeah, so ETC doesn't have great vision here. Let's see. So this is what ETC sees. He sees there's something down here. He also sees that his healer and 2 of his damage dealers are here. He wants to do the correct thing and push with his camp. He wants to get a little bit of the wall before the next shrine happens. If you get the wall open, awesome, you get stuff. But you don't see anybody, and again, follow the rule. If you don't know about heroic cooldowns and how long they are on cooldown, and it's actually very difficult to judge it with Illidan because he can reduce it, you shouldn't be going in here like this. So now he saw somebody, and he still walks forward. Like, you can see the click. More clicks forward. At the latest point now, you should either go away and power slide right away here. Go back, power slide, try to save yourself in here. Or, honestly, just use stage dive. So now you know you're fucked, because there's a hunt coming in, there's a Sonya coming in, and you should assume that they have leap and hunt. Bang, you are stunned once. So the only correct situation would be try to get try to get stage dive out of here. Walking will not help. So that's just like map awareness, non-existent. Funnily enough, the Diablo finishes the camp here. Again, the worst character to do that. For the red team, they just lost a team member, and none of them is soaking the 2 lanes here. And that's really bad. You saw Illidan use the hunt, so, you know, for 30 seconds or so at least, you should be on the safe side and be able to just get a little bit of XP here. Being with 4 people in the top here is a little overkill. You still have your fort, still, you know, a little bit of safe room. And even if you're afraid of the camp, there's still a little bit of room to wiggle here. I like what the ETC is doing. He's trying to force a fight because the enemy is not yet 16. That was really good. Completely wasted Apocalypse. A little panic cleanse. They should be fighting here. Yeah, that's really good. That's really, really good. A little early with the Ancestral, but you never want to be too late, so that was also okay. So this was really well done by the red team, especially by the ETC. Like, he's basically leading this engagement. So he comes in here. They're nearly 16, but they're not 16 yet, and the shrine is going to be active in 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So the best thing that you can do is just force a fight. And you can see that this team is a little bit actually scared about going in because they just lost and have been losing a little bit all over the game. They have 8 kills less. But ETC does the correct thing. And then great recognition here. I think they don't fake really going back. They really want to go back, but nice. Great combo. Really well played. The Diablo makes the mistake to just use Apocalypse to try to save Tracer, and that's in general not gonna be enough. You have to engage as well. If you use Apoc, you have to go in. Diablo loses his souls, that's also really bad. And now the red team should just focus on getting the shrine as much as possible. They're gonna be 4 versus 5. I think chasing here gives them a kill, but it's just lucky because the Sonya is also really bad and shouldn't be going in. They should be waiting for Diablo. The Rhaegar is just waiting in the bush. Don't do that. Just kill the minions. Like, you don't do a lot of damage, but every once in a while, if you use wolf attack, you kill one. Like, you don't get anything done here, and you only didn't, like, not only did you use your heal, but you also used it before biting anybody. For Rhaegar, the general rule is that you always want to be in wolf form, and then use your wolf bite to kill something or do a lot of damage to it, and then use spells. So in this situation, you would have been biting a minion and then heal the ETC, and then go back in wolf form. Okay, let's have a look before we go into the next team fight here. What we have in terms of talents. Nerves of Steel on 16 for Sonya, very good. Mystical Spear, very good. Poison Spear, all good. Diabotic Momentum, also good. Devastating Charge, also good. Domination is also good. So the Diablo is playing, or has built very well as Sonya. I think the same goes for Malfurion. Ice Block on 13 is very important. For Illidan, I think the Hunt is really good because they want to get people locked down. And then his talent tree is pretty flexible, so I think that's okay. With the Blades of Azinotz, I feel like you will not have the time to jump on so many targets because you were more weaving in and out. But I think it can work. Okay, Tracer, definitely not the best build. You want normally to have your Bullet Spray here on 13 to have more wave clear, especially on the shrines. And then Ricochet doesn't do enough for the clear. Like the bomb is charged better with Bullet Spray, and you do more clear on the shrines. And then Sleight of Hand is totally fine. You don't need to have the more difficult to use talents here. On the side of the red team, Valla still hasn't finished her auto-attack quest, and it's 50 minutes into the game, and it's a level 4 quest. So you should definitely think about not using this if you don't get it done by, I want to say, level 13 or something like that. If you don't get it done before that, your damage will not increase by a lot in the late game from this talent, because your other talents will do more damage. Let's see. I mean, I guess the heal is... I oftentimes feel that all of the heal talents on auto attacks are pretty much lackluster, especially when they're like on level 13. I think Falstad is the only guy that I take talents like this on. Again, I'm not a big fan of the auto attack build, especially on Infernal Shrines where you need so much wave clear. You know, what can you do? Face Melt is okay. I think on 13 you have the talent that you can get cooldown reduction. That would be better. The Rhaegar has the perfect build. Healing Totem, I think, is the best spell on 4. And then Cleanse, obviously needed against so much CC that the enemy team has. And then Earth Shield on 13 is also good. And, well, the Kerathos has Convection, so that's, you know, it is what it is. Variance build, I think, is fine for Windblades. You don't have any choice on 4 anyway. Shield Wall is fine. And then Second Wind with that many auto attacks is also really good. Somewhat good done, or well done, because the Punisher jumps, but it jumps on all 3. So again, if you use W on the Diablo to get vision for the Punisher, it would be easier. And then he just dies. Okay, let's jump back for a second, because it's very funny what they're doing. So, they just lost Sonya, they lost the team fight, they lost the Punisher. So, what you should be doing is basically have the fort given up here. You have a talent advantage, but you're one level down, or well, one guy down, and then level up. That's what I wanted to say. And then you have Illidan doing a camp. It's not the best way to do this, because the camps will not be doing a lot, as this push normally doesn't do that much, but he's not there. So these 3 people should just like fuck off and defend the keep. Instead, they get stunned with 2 people, so the Malfurion has to run away because he can't follow up on everybody else. The engage here is... It's okay if you had more than one damage dealer here, because you pull in the ETC, but then opening the wall is very easy now with level 15. And ETC is also very tanky now, so taking this is a mistake, and then obviously now you just basically made your team lose their main tank. Fort down. Let's see. Let's keep in mind what the camp will be doing here. We already saw a ping here from the red team. And the red team does a good job in the engage here. They should get Sonya. Very good. Very well done. So at this point you're probably going to be telling yourself that you fucked up as a KT, because you went back into the middle to clear this. But you could probably gotten a keep here. Because you got the kill on the Sonya, so 2 people are dead. You get the wall very easily. These guys can't defend it, so you might have gotten keep if you stayed there. Very risky stage dive. Great engage on the Malfurion though. Okay, let's have a look. He probably doesn't have vision. See. So he sees Tracer. Ooh. So both of them make a big mistake because the Punisher is gonna jump on both of them, and they give vision to the ETC. Okay, Punisher jumps in, only hits the Tracer. So if he positions it a little bit further down here, it's even more risky, but at least he can guarantee that he hits anything. He didn't hit any hero there, but he makes up for it by a great engage. The Malfurion root is completely wasted here. He shouldn't have done that, and he's dead. This could actually be game, to be honest with you. They get the keep. They still have a pretty big minion wave here. Dodge the Apocalypse. Cleanse not needed here. If he's stunned already. There's no follow-up from them. See? No. Okay, red team is a little scared, which I can understand. They're not 5. But they just got like 2 levels up on the enemy team. So KT cleared this. I think it's okay. The decision is obviously difficult to make because you never know that the Sonya's gonna die and that you get so many kills in the end. That being said, you are hunting for stacks here, so staying will probably be safer. Vala still hasn't finished her quest, but at least she has gotten Manticore now, so she actually does auto-attack damage. So Manticore and then on level 20 Farfight Quiver are the only talents that you need to do auto-attack damage. All the talents before that for auto-attack damage are not needed. Well, very good Ancestral. No, run. Run. Oh, there you go. Okay, so another look on that. So clearing this is fine, but you should be aware that you don't see anybody on the map. Good positioning by the Rhaegar. And here's where you probably would have needed cleanse. Like if you cleanse her now, she doesn't get stunned, or she only gets stunned for a millisecond, and then she can vault away. Away. Good Earth Shield, great Ancestral, good totem placement, and she gets away. And you only used 1 heroic for, well, you used Rain of Vengeance, but it has a very short cooldown for 2 heroics. I guess Illidan is typing. This is somewhat okay. Late game, these camps can be very much a game winner. And you can take them before the objective spawn, because most of the time the enemy will try to find you and find a fight, or they only send one person down, one hero down, or up in this case, to clear the camp. So you might be able to engage into the rest of the team with an advantage. What's happening down here? That's good. Look again, but he just used... don't do this, by the way. Like, Face Melt does very little damage, and you just spread your targets more out. Doesn't do anything else. It just spreads your targets out, and then you have to walk around. Yep, that's totally fine. It's a pretty long cooldown with like 75 seconds, but much better than if you died to the skank and didn't get the camp either. Very risky, the positioning here. I think the Kael'thas might be dead. Okay, so the Diablo for some reason didn't engage. So this is something that obviously it's also to do with the level of play here. They had a perfectly fine and open Kael'thas, and they didn't engage there. That was pretty bad. Good counter kill by the red team. This is okay, like the panic defensive Apocalypse, I think you can do that for sure. Unfortunately for the blue team, the red team now has pretty much gotten everything they wanted. Vala, you're dead, I think. Nope. No, actually you kill everybody, but now you're dead. Nope, nice. So Varian and Rhaegar both tanked a couple of shots from the fort, otherwise they would be dead. Otherwise the Vala would just have died. Okay, so The correct situation, what you should have done here from the red team side, is go for core. Your tank is dead, that's fine, but the enemy team is dead for more than 40 seconds on their healer and one of the damage healers, and their tank and the other damage healer is down for 20 seconds. If you walk directly to core, you're gonna win the game. The issue is Kael'thas does something here, and then they're all split and low, so they're afraid to go for core. But it would have been the correct decision. If you don't do core, at least do this together, and don't leave one person, say, behind. See, catapults are getting cleared, that's fine. Okay, so red team has made a good comeback here. Pretty convincing. They also have a huge advantage now because they only have one fort that is lost in the bottom, and they have both keeps exposed, and one of them actually even down. So now they're doing the shrine, and the blue team can't really do anything right now. So they should be soaking XP, probably take the camp and try to push into this top lane and even try to get the fort. While the red team, they will get the Punisher for sure, but they have to go through the fort, and then you can defend keep. Let's see what they actually do. Because it's very unlikely that they're going to get 20, even if they soak all the XP, but trying to get the fort gets you at least closer to it. Okay, red team does everything perfect. Yeah, this is completely... like, you shouldn't, like, 5-man do the wave. Either you go 5-man in and do, you know, full retard team fight, 18 versus 20, and try to just win it. Or you clear the waves separately. But clearing the wave a little bit and then walking a little bit forward, and then you're 5 and showing. Like, if the red team, or if the team fight here would be on a higher level, the red team just comes out here and just kills you, because they're 20 versus 18, there's no reason for you to be 5 people here, and they just get you. ETC, I think if he gets a good stun off here, Tracer's dead. Okay. Stun was okay, but there was no follow-up from his team. Very good Apocalypse. Valla, again, completely out of position. She probably... okay, she has ward still, that's good. But she's still dead. So trade 1 for 1. Don't chase here. Don't chase the Diablo. There's no way that you can get him. Your team needs you. Nope. If the Diablo just didn't overpower him and just walks, I think he lives. Nope. Okay. Punisher's pushing bottom, gets cleared up very quickly. And the red team just does everything now. So again, they had totally chance to go to core. Actually have 2 catapults also pushing. The blue team has to kill the Punisher, but instead they take this camp, which doesn't do anything. And now they take this camp away. I think this is okay, to just remove that objective. But unfortunately for the red team, it means that the blue team will actually get level 20. I can only imagine that the Illidan is like rage typing, because his core is taking damage here, which it shouldn't, because you can just clear it. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay. So, objective for both teams. For the red team is basically try to get a kill somewhere, which will allow you to go core. If you kill another team member, or even 2, you can totally go core, because you have catapults coming in here all the time. They take the camp, have more pressure. So from my opinion, they should just take this camp and then move in here. Try to get deaths. For the blue team, the objective is get level 20. If you don't get level 20 now, you will never be able to fight, because they will just pick you off sooner or later. The quickest way to get level 20 is take this wave, and then there's trickling XP coming in here from the catapults. So you should totally be level 20 before the next shrine comes up, and even before the red team is going to attack this. What they do is now, they send Tracer here. She's taken a little bit of damage here from this, I think. With Bullet Spray, she would have done much more now, and she has to have... she has 3 blinks up. 1 blink. 2 blinks, 3 blinks, 4 blinks. So if she just blinks away right away to the bottom, she doesn't die. But unfortunately for her, she decides to do weird things where she just like walks into them and then blinks once left and then gets slowed and blinks down and then uses E, and it's just a very messy thing. You have to, with that many blinks, you just have to choose one direction and just go. So, red team should easily be able to get this keep here now, and they are all 5 again alive. The blue team got level 20, but they're still missing 1 damage healer. The maniac pinging here just confuses your teams, but unfortunately the ETC again is doing something that he shouldn't be doing, which is a camp. There's no value in this camp. Like, don't do it. Like, it will not kill the keep. It will not assist you in the shrine. So, and you're also super slow to do it. Like, you don't have any talents that help you clear this, and you face melted again, so you actually pushed him away. So really bad decision making by him. Varian has the right idea. If they get another kill or 2 here, they can just finish core, because look at what's coming in here. There's still a shaman camp, there's 2 catapults, there's a Khazra camp here, and there's freaking minions coming in here. Good Apocalypse. 2 people don't dodge it. Interesting team fight. Illidan walks out of the Malthael. Holy moly. Okay, so this is where you see definitely that this is like Silver League gameplay level. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It just shows very much in this team fight how this like whole thing went. Like, nobody has any idea of what's going on. So let's move in. I think it's also the game ending. So I don't want to go even further back. So when did he decide to go down here? Okay, so let's speed up a little bit. He kills the Tracer, and his team is still pushing here. Like, he can see that they're pushing here, and then without any warning, without any ping or whatever, ETC just decides, whoop, I'm gonna do a camp here. So his team decides to make this happen. That's totally cool. Okay, so this team fight is now 4 versus 4. The red team doesn't have a tank, and the blue team is missing a damage healer. So for me, if they just ignore Varian, the blue team has a very good chance to just clean up the red team. Let's see. Sonya goes in, Illidan is, I think, tilted. Yeah, he's just tilted, he doesn't do anything. Great engage by the Diablo. If the Sonya is with him, they can kill the Vala here. Illidan just not interested anymore. Now he thinks like, okay, I'm just gonna press a button. Charges the wrong target. If he just goes in Vala, she dies. Malfurion, great Tranquility. Illidan walks out of the Tranquility. Sonya moves into all 4 of them, gets stunned, and then just smooshed. Another kill. So that's just like Illidan just being a really bad teammate. And that's it. Cool. So that was the second game in our series. Let's have a last look at what's happening stats-wise and everything. So ETC died 8 times, but he actually had a couple of engagements and plays that made it really, really good for his team. So while he died a lot, he also made a lot of things happen. Otherwise, 6, 7, and 7 deaths are too much. You should limit this to a maximum of 5, and even 5 is very high. And then 4, 3, 2, 1 is really good. Rhaegar played excellent. Their damage is a little low on both the siege and the hero damage, but they played very safe. And the healing is excellent in this situation. Let's have a last look at the talents, because both teams reached level 20. So, yeah, Tracer was fine, I think, overall. Her build definitely has some situations where other talents will be better. For example, bullet time. I think if you have jumper, which gives you just 1 more jump, she might survive the last engagement of the ETC here. Sticky bomb, I think, is also something that doesn't help you necessarily to hit the bomb better. And the slow is actually quite nice, but you have lots of follow-up already. You don't necessarily need the slow. I think if you just use the Quantum Spike that just gives you more damage on one target, you would have been much more helpful. And then again, Ricochet I think is just the wrong talent on this map. If you go for Bullet Spray, you are more helpful. Illidan, he's very viable again for having multiple talent choices here. Again, Blades of Athanaut, I'm not 100% certain, but I think Hunt and Nowhere to Hide were very good talents here. That's fine. Malf actually got 40 roots off in 21 minutes. Like, that's nearly 2 roots per minute. Like, that's really good. Very surprising. I think Trank is okay at the moment. People have to figure it out still how to play him, but I think it helped him a couple of times. But the silence might have actually been pretty good against Kael'thas and Vala, but then you're also putting yourself in a pretty risky situation. And then Ice Block is okay. Again, pretty much the best seller on 13. I don't think you can pick anything else. And Moonlit Harmony and Life Room are probably the most picked talents at the moment. Sonya, everything correct. Poison Spear, focus attacks, and then Mystical Spear, Nurse of Steel, and Ignore Pain. Ignore Pain and Nurse of Steel just make you super tanky. Unfortunately for her, not tanky enough. And then Diablo also pretty good, actually finished his Devastating Charge. Very well done. On the Vala build, let's have a look. So she goes auto-attack build and then gets out-damaged by Kael'thas, who lost his stacks probably like 3 or 4 times, which is not the worst because, you know, you can't always out-damage a mage with auto-attacks, but it's quite significant, 13,000. And then he also had more siege damage, which is actually quite significant on this map because, again, you have to do the Skeletal Defenders quite heavily. Funnily enough, on the other team, Tracer has the highest siege damage. That should never happen. Like, it should be Sonya or Illidan. No question asked. ETC, I think the build is not ideal. Prog Rock is totally fine. Loudspeaker is also good. And then Pinball Wizard, I think is okay. But if you go for a Stage Dive, you should totally go for the AE damage on your spells. Because, like, if you don't go Echo Pedal on 7, why take Stage Dive? Because if you're away from your team, you have to clear waves or minions very quickly, and Pinball Wizard doesn't really give you that. Echo Pedal is much better in this situation. Face Melt, we talked about this. Probably better to take the cooldown reduction on your W. Imposing Presence against this lineup is really, really good. Like, you reduce attack speed and movement speed against like 3 melees, and even against Tracer, it's really, really strong. So very well picked. And then Crowd Pleaser is fine. I mean, Death Metal is always a surprise, but I think Crowd Pleaser is fine. Rhaegar did everything correctly. That's the typical Rhaegar build. I personally am a big fan of Storm Shield, so, you know, there's that. And then Kael'thas, I mean, he got his quest finished, so you can argue that he did everything correctly. But I personally don't like the Convection quest because you're also so mana hungry at the, you know, first like 10-15 minutes of the game. That Mana Addict obviously gives you a little bit more of an edge there. Otherwise, totally fine. Netherwind is fine. Burn Flesh is fine. Paramaniac and then Fear of the Sunwell. Typical picks. Flamethrower on 20 is, in my opinion, much better than Rebirth. That being said, it's a 60-second cooldown, so you can't really go wrong with it either. And then the variant for Windblades, that's, I think, the only build that you can go. Mortal Strike against the Malfurion actually, I think, is very, very good. Because if he hits his Ws to have a little bit of burst heal, but you have the Heroic Strike on the target that has Regrowth active, you reduce it by a lot. Okay, that's it for the game. One last look. The variant actually is the one with the most soaked XP. It's very interesting to me to see these stats on this level of play, because you basically see that the red team soaked a lot of XP on different characters, while the blue team, even though they had great characters or heroes to actually get soak with Hunt Illidan, with Sonya, who's a great solo laner, they have Tracer with the most siege and most XP damage. So that's definitely something that they did wrong there. Okay, that's it for me for this analysis. Thank you for watching as always, and we're going to close this, and you have a good day. Have a good one. Bye bye.